Is it working now? Does it work now? I'm an absolute prat. I've clicked something. I never would have figured that out. I never would have figured that out in a million years. It literally, I would never have figured that out. That is just total and utter luck. Lockbridge. I never would have figured that one out. Never in a million years. I don't know whether I've said that before, but I never would have figured it out. Basically, everything's working. It's all set up perfect. And in my sources, I've actually clicked the audio input capture off. And it's not obvious what I've done. And yet all the mixers are saying it's working, but I clicked it off. And I don't even know. I can't speak. Well, I can speak now. Anyway, look, panic over. I am panicking because I'm thinking, I'm going to lose my job. No, but I am panicking because I'm thinking, I'm just really lucky I'm in a certain place because I've got a list. Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's talk about Manchester United. Hope we're all doing well, and thanks everyone for tuning in as per usual. Fantastic show ahead of us. Manchester United against Brighton, and a huge game for United. And as I was saying, but you couldn't hear, I'm quite surprised that Ten Hag's gone with an unchanged team today. I wouldn't have gone with an unchanged. I don't know why I'm talking like that because you can hear me now. I would not have gone with this team today. But I'm happy he's done it because I want Erik Ten Hag this season to be judged without excuse. I disagree with Neville that injuries are not an excuse this season because if we have an injury crisis, it's definitely an excuse. But I sort of get of what he means. At Man United, you don't want to be hiding behind excuses. And I do not want to be hiding behind excuses this season. So when I look at Manchester United this season, and I look at that team that Ten Hag's picked, I don't like playing with Mason Mount as a false nine. There's no future in it. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. He's shoehorning a player in that he doesn't know what to do with. In my mind, Xerxes should start. I also don't like Maguire at centre-back. I mean, I was listening to the countdown to kickoff and someone said, when's Mark going to accept that we do play a high line with Harry Maguire? Well, never. Because I've been watching the game for 5 years and we don't play a high line with Harry Maguire. But my biggest issue is he spent £42 million on a player he's been chasing all summer, and then he doesn't want to start him at the moment because he wants to stick with a winning team. And as I said before, what if we win again today? So we pick Maguire against Liverpool. What if we win then? So De Ligt will never play then, basically. You were okay with Maguire. Why did you buy De Ligt? Or is he waiting for Maguire to fuck up to put De Ligt on? In which case we're dropping points. Just in my mind, you bought this player because you want this player. He's very different to Maguire. You should be picking him. But I'm only giving you both sides because the flip side to that coin is the team won last week. We didn't concede, and he's gone with a winning team. And if he's right, I want Ten Hag this season to be praised when he gets things right and to be criticised if he gets it wrong. Ultimately, I don't want excuses. I don't want off-field activity. I don't want the sale of the club. I don't want injuries. I just want this manager to be judged now. Style of play, selections, and look, let's see what happens. That's all I'm going to say. Had a bad day yesterday. United can get the win, says Sammy. Flex says, what a knob. Maguire's been one of the best centre-backs in the league for over a year, says Red Army. Now, was unfortunate with injuries last season. Absolute quality, top professional. Yeah, you're back, aren't you? Harry Maguire's brother's back. From Tony's agent and James Charles to Mute Bridge, says Brad Thompson. Great start to a show, but disgrace no Xerxes, says Why is De Ligt not playing, says Daniel. Joshua, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Maguire versus Liverpool then doesn't make sense, in my opinion, says Scott. And Bolver and Andreas J, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. So there is the Manchester United lineup on the screen for you. We will talk about the lineup for Brighton in a moment because I think they may have gone with the same side as well. I'm on the completely wrong thing here. Let me have a... Oh, my God. There we go. Let's get the United side there. So Man United side unchanged. Yeah, I'd have picked De Ligt. Yeah, I'd have picked Xerxes. Look, I've mentioned De Ligt. I don't really get the point in signing a player and then sticking with the player that we all know isn't the right player. I don't get it, but I've said that. In relation to Xerxes... I don't know. I don't know. I don't really get what we're trying to do with this team here. I look at Rashford and Ahmad last week, and they really struggled when they got the ball because they had no overlap and they had no one in the box. So I thought Rashford and Ahmad were both 6 out of 10 last week. Remember, we got the player ratings afterward. I thought the wingers really struggled without a focal point. And then when Xerxes came on, suddenly I think the wingers played better. I think Rashford finished the game stronger, and obviously Garnacho was very good. I think Garnacho not starting is massive as well. I mean, no one's talking about that. Our best winger can't get in the team at the moment. I mean, look at it like that. Our best winger can't get in the team. We're not playing with a striker, and our £42 million centre-back can't get in the team as well. I mean, in one way, it's good. In another way, you could say, I don't agree with it, or something worse. But no, I think I would have played Xerxes because in the Premier League, you look at people like Ollie Watkins, Isak, Erling Haaland, these types, even Ivan Toney at Brentford, they're a rare breed strikers, and they're very, very effective. They win you games. Villa without Watkins last season don't get top 4. And I think that to not play with the striker away from home, who is physical, 6'3", and I think I love about Xerxes, it's just get the ball, lay it off, and get in the box. Defenders are terrified about that. So unless we've got some clever Harry Potter shit going on here, where it's all intricate and they can't pick up our players, I suspect we will end up probably having to bring them on sooner rather than later. But the bench is strong. The bench is strong. I think he's sticking with the box midfield until we get Ugarte, someone who's got legs who can get about the pitch, says Dave. And I hope when Ahmad scores, a Pratt ref won't send him off. He takes his shirt off with a message to his mum, says Rudy. And why does Ten Hag wait until the team loses to make changes? It should be starting. Dex, thank you for speaking my language. I'm not talking English. I'm talking the language of football. I don't get this, and it's fine. I want United to win. If Maguire scores a hat-trick and Mount scores a hat-trick and we win 6-0, happy days. But I don't get this, and I'm glad that Dex has said it as well. I don't get picking that team when we all know De Ligt and Martinez are the centre-back pairing he wants to use. And we all know if Rasmus was fit, he'd play him up front, so why not put Xerxes there? To me, it's the start of the season, and it's Manchester United, and he's basically picking a team on, well, not even form, just because I don't know. I don't really get what he's doing because I don't see any longevity in this. So if we're waiting to lose to change the team, we're Manchester United, mate. We can't afford to fucking lose. So I don't get it. I personally, if everybody's fit, you pick your strongest team. I couldn't give a shit if they beat Fulham 1-0 and kept a clean sheet. But look, not everybody would agree with that. Let's talk about Fulham. Because they are, I think we're going to win, by the way. You know, I do think we're going to win. I think we're catching Fulham at a very good time. First game at home this season. And they have got a new manager as well. And I've got a feeling that we're gonna get the result here. But let's have a quick look at Brighton, because I think he's pretty much gone with the same team as last week as well. So Steele, Hinchelwood, Dunk, Van Heck, Veltman, Gilmore, Milner, Matoma, Pedro, Minte, and Welbeck. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the same team that he picked last week. Well, started with. Minte was fucking mint last week as well, but. Yeah, no, he has made a change. He's, Wafer is out. He must be injured or something. Oh, no, yeah, he is out. So Wafer's out, and Gilmore's come in. But apart from that, it is the same team. So one change for Brighton, and it looks like it's enforced. So, you know, there we go. That's where we are. Sorry, Beth's just saying I can hear you. Sancho's not there, says Fishcake Fly. Well, we spoke about Jadon Sancho last night, didn't we? And I also haven't spoken to you about the Scott McTominay bid, which I'll speak to you about in a moment. I thought Gilmore had signed for Napoli as well. I really did think he clearly hasn't been sold to Napoli because he's here starting for Brighton, but I thought he'd been sold as well. But Jadon Sancho's not here. Well, he's certainly not on the bench. I don't really have a problem with that. I think that really what we've got here is a situation where Ahmad is able to play. So that to me is a good thing. And apparently Ahmad asked to play despite the recent family bereavement. So very, very good that Ahmad is starting this game as well. I think it's a positive story. I mean, for me, I'd have dropped Rashford for Garnacho. I wouldn't have dropped Ahmad anyway. So very, very happy that Ahmad is starting. Of course, I said this last night, we've all been through grief. Sometimes you just want to go and sit in a room for a week, and sometimes you want to just try and do things to take your mind off it and crack on. And that you know, it's good that we have got Ahmad playing today, and it's good that he's starting today, because I did fear that he would go and drop Ahmad. But the bench is Binder, De Ligt, Evans, Collier, Ericsson, McTominay, Anthony, Garnacho and Xerxes. So we've got a good bench for Manchester United there today. Very happy with that. Sorry, I'm getting a few messages in. Yeah, so yeah, no Jadon Sancho. I mean, I've got nothing to say about it. If Ahmad couldn't have played, it would have been very interesting if Sancho would have been on the bench, because that would have been logical. But I've got no problem with Jadon Sancho not being involved today. I want to talk about the Scott McTominay bid. What are your thoughts on that? This came in last night. To be honest with you, I could have done a video on it, and I just thought it's getting rejected anyway. So basically 25 million euros, which is 21.2 million pounds offer from Napoli for Scott McTominay. Now, if we've got a little bit more in the bank to come in from Napoli, I don't mind rejecting that bid, because maybe we can get 25. But if that's their final offer, bloody take it. Please take it. We can't have another summer where £30 million put on the table by West Ham for McTominay last season, and we say we want 40. And then 21 million gets put down by Napoli, and we say we want 30. And to everybody who says, well, why should we take a reduction? He's got 1 year left on his deal. You know, if he had 3 years left on his deal, maybe you could get £30 million, but he's got 1 year left on his deal. So £21 million, if that's all we can get, he's only worth what people are willing to pay. I said this about PSG and Agate. Agate's only worth what anybody's willing to pay. And look, maybe we can get a little bit more out of Napoli this week. I'm hoping that we can. But if we end up keeping Scott McTominay now, when we've had 2 summers where we could have bloody sold him, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. So hopefully we'll get that deal done. If we don't sell it, it's idiotic, says John. Matty says Ten Hag will regret this selection soon. And well, I'm interested to see how it works today, actually, because I thought against Fulham we had the protection of Old Trafford, but we did do quite well. And today, Brighton, you know, if this was a Potter or De Zerbi Brighton, I'd be a little bit worried. But I think Brighton today, I'm interested to see how it's going to work. You know what? I think he's obsessed with the press. I think the reason he's gone with Mount and Bruno is he's obsessed with this press. But I don't get it. I don't want to be negative, but I don't get it. What if it works again? We're not playing Mount and Bruno for the whole fucking season. It won't work. Like, I'm looking at my wingers and they're like, I don't know what to do with these two. They're not fucking strikers. So what am I supposed to... It's great that they press from the front, but what am I supposed to do with them? They're not strikers. And I hope that we don't stick with it for long is all I would say. Seven says, I get wanting to see new players in the squad. I do feel Garnacho should start. Says Seven. I don't know why Garnacho's not in the team, and I'm not going to get into it. I don't normally avoid a topic. I think there's a good conversation about Xerxes. I think it's a good conversation about De Ligt, but you can understand why he's gone with Maguire and Mount. Not a massive fan of either player, if I'm being honest, but I can understand why he's done it. If I talk about Garnacho, I might say something I don't want to say. So I don't understand why Garnacho is not starting. For me, it's ridiculous that Garnacho is sat on the bench whilst certain players are starting the game. But look, let's hope certain players deliver, because I don't want Ross. Don't worry, I'll get rid of you, mate. I would have started Garnacho. Rory C says they offer 25 million euros and we want 30. That would be enough to sit down and negotiate. If we don't, does he walk for free? I think we'll give McTominay a new contract, Rory, if he doesn't leave this summer, to be honest. Mazraoui gets right in the team, but De Ligt has to be eased in. Why is Ten Hag tying his hands like this? Doesn't he want to play a high line? Says Humphrey. Apparently we play a high line with Maguire. Apparently it was all a dream. Apparently Maguire we play a high line with. Gems, welcome to Members Club. You're an absolute gem, and gifted 5 memberships as well. Come on United, another win. Game today, I don't care. No excuses, says Zuteng. And if Ten Hag was to put De Ligt in and it goes wrong, you know, the English press will say, why did he leave Harry out after the last game, his weekend getaway? You might be right, mate, but you're telling me that Ten Hag is scared to pick De Ligt because he might get criticised by Rio or Gary. That can't be, you know, you can't manage a club like that. Clearly, he's playing a deeper team with Ahmad and Rashford up front to run in behind. He's afraid to lose the midfield, so he will press reasonably short, says Nikos. Thank you very much for your super chats that are coming in. Can I just say as well, please do subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 2 million. We're on the road to 2 million subscribers this season, so please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved with the United Stand. We are live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock, watch-alongs, match reviews, the lot. So get involved with us. You're all very, very welcome, and thank you as normal for tuning in. Let me get rid of that message. I don't know what that was all about. How's your FPL doing, Mark? I wasn't intending to talk about FPL, Fantasy Premier League. My Soccer 6, I'm doing very well with. United aren't in Soccer 6 again this week, though. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I did very, very well last week. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy with my Soccer 6. FPL, I've had to use my wild card already, which I'm not ashamed to do that. I think sometimes, you know, call a turd a turd. I did very, very badly, so I've used my wild card. I think the biggest, stupidest thing I did was say that Mo Salah's going to win Player of the Year and then not put him in my Fantasy Premier League team. I mean, that's just thickness on another level. So I'm calling myself a super prat. But I'm doing well in the Super 6. New season, same problems, says Hashim. What are the problems? Does having no fullbacks on the bench worry you, says Keith? Well, it does, but what, you know, Harry Amas obviously isn't, you know, fancied for the bench. I'd have put him on the bench, but again, you know. Gifted 5 memberships, DI, thank you very much. Don't you have access to press conferences? Maybe a question about his lineup selections to Stuart Walker. Thank you very much. And watching from holiday in Portugal and the commentary is Keys and Taylor. My ears are bleeding from the shite they talk, says Yoza. And should always start our strongest available team, says Rajdeep. Ant says Garnacho needs to start. Maguire will be found out by McTominay. Maguire will be found out by Matoma and Welbeck. And Weekend Getaway says, if Ten Hag was to put De Ligt in, and I've done that one as well. Thank you very much for that. Why is Garnacho on the bench, says Desiree. I hate seagulls, says Max. And is this Rashford's comeback season, says Moose is Loose. And happy 3 years, Goldie, says Sam Sargent. Ray, thank you very much. I think with regards to Rashford, I think we all hope that he's going to deliver. I think even people that don't rate Rashford should hope that he's going to deliver, because he's never going to not get picked, is he? It's another season where he's starting on the wing. He's starting ahead of Garnacho at the moment. So if he's going to start games for Man United, we really do need him to deliver for Manchester United, don't we? So hopefully that will happen. Let's have a look at some other chats as well. 32,000 watching. You're an absolute amazing crew, you lot. Absolute legends as usual. Love that. Do you think Malacia will play in a red shirt again, says the Guzman? Jonathan Garland's been a member. Thank you very much. And Ajit says, I love you, Mark. You talk the most sense out of anyone. Well, don't know about that. You've been talking in your sleep. Whoa, oh, oh. I think dropping Maguire would lead to another fallout. At least dropping him fairly would maintain professionalism among the players, says Abhijit. Look, Seb will be happy. That's all that matters to me. We've got chicken Kievs for tea and Harry Maguire's starting. Don't get much better than that because it's absolutely pissing it down with rain and we can't go out. There was something I was going to say here. Oh, yeah, thanks to all the members in the chat. Get your badge in. Really appreciate that. Real one's there with his badge. Get GGMU. Glory, glory, Man United. Just trying to get some Ten Hag quotes here. We're only 7 minutes away. Don't you just get excited on match day? You're never going to lose that, are you? It is... I know we moan and I know we celebrate and I know we over-egg the pudding and I know we get negative. Sorry, let me... Okay. I was really ill last night. I tell you what, I don't know about you lot, but I had fitness tests of my own. I went to bed last night after the 8 o'clock show. Not straight away. I don't go to bed at 9. I'm hardcore. And I got into bed and I suddenly was like, really bad headache, really cold. And it is the summer. And I was shaking. I had to put another blanket on. I was like, oh my God, what's this? And I thought, I don't need this on a match day. But woke up this morning, felt a bit rough, but not as bad. And I feel better now. Seb! Come here a minute. Eric Ten Hag wanting to keep McTominay worries me. Means he does not have faith in his system because he will only be used when things ain't going as planned. Show off your top. And guess what? Harry Maguire's starting ahead of De Ligt. What do you think about that?
Good.
I'm not happy about it.
Why?
Well, I want De Ligt to play. Tell you what, if Maguire does bad today, what do you think I should say? You're happy about it, I can tell. You've got a really smug smile on your face.
Oh.
Okay, go on then. See you in a bit. Yeah, fine at the moment. Not yet. No. Smoke set. Oh well. All about the wins. As long as we win. Sam Bothan says there's been issues with Ten Hag and Sancho. Ten Hag asked whether Jadon Sancho will leave Man United after being left out of the squad. He said he's here, but I had a choice to make. We had some issues. We need a full squad. He's one of them and needs to compete for his position. I mean, I don't know what those issues are, but as I said before, I really do think that I got quite angry about it last night. I think, you know, throwing your toys out the pram because you're not in the first match day squad when you threw out your toys out the pram last year. I mean, let's be honest. Who here thinks that Sancho should be on the bench for Man United? You might think he's better than Anthony, but Anthony's attitude and, you know, dedication to the badge is more. So, look, I agree. Maybe Sancho is better than Anthony, but dislodge him. Dislodge him. That's what you need to do. Don't throw your toys out the pram again. It's 4:30 a.m. In the States, and United Stand is on with the commentary muted, says Patrick. Thank you very much, mate. Hope you're doing well. There's been an issue. Sam Bothan did that. Welcome to Members Club. Edzil, thank you very much for supporting the channel. And Trey Warren says, I love Ruud van Nistelrooy, but his PR in every televised organisation is insane. He didn't even do that well at PSV, says Trey. You know what it is? I think the media in this country wants Ruud van Nistelrooy to take over from Ten Hag. They've got no idea why they want it to happen, but they just like him. Mark is, we said, happy Maguire is starting, says Paul. Well, he came in and did a cameo there. United are still very vulnerable in transition. In my opinion, this is because too many players have the head down, tunnel vision approach. Hope to see improvement, says Seven Samurai. And Joshua Donegan says, I can't believe we paid 40 million euros for Xerxes just to put him on the bench. He's our only proper forward at the moment. I am surprised he's not picking him, but it is only the second game of the season, so let's wait and see. You know, as I said, Garnacho is the one that bothers me the most, but I'm not going to react to it because it will just be a bad reaction, and we don't want that before a game. And I can't, you can't make chocolate out of shit from Ajax, says Michael. And Eric Ten Hag wanting to keep, I've done that one from Rory C as well. So let's get ready to rumble here, everybody. I'm excited. Why is Maguire starting ahead of De Ligt if we want to play a high line, says Jacob. And Seb's score prediction, 6-0 to Man United. And Aria says, it's 6:26 here in Houston. Been up since 5 watching Countdown to Kickoff. Viva United, have a great weekend. You too, mate. Hope you enjoy it. Hope we all enjoy it. Ajit says, De Ligt, Garnacho and Xerxes have to start against Liverpool. Early start means game starts before sunrise here in Australia. Love it, says Ajit. Well, I'm watching Liverpool play Brentford tomorrow on That's Football. I'm doing Villa Arsenal at 5:30. But the reason I'm watching Liverpool play Brentford is I probably would have watched it anyway. I might not have done a watch along, but I really want to have a good look at them after our game today and sort of look at, you know, how it might work out, because I think this team that he's picked is capable of winning. Look, I think he's got to win today. I know people will be saying, well, a draw at Brighton's not bad, but I think the team he's picked, he's got to win, because it's not the team I would have picked, and it's not the team some of you would have picked, and he could have picked a different team. So I think if he's going to pick a team like this, I back him. I support the manager. It's not the team I would pick, but I back and support him. He's got to go and win now. And, you know, Yassin Sen, when doesn't he have to win? When you go to the Etihad? When you go to the Emirates? When you go to Anfield? I don't think everybody expects us to win at those places at the moment. Now you look at Pratt, don't you? You didn't think that one through, did you? Yeah, we're not that club that we can demand we're going to win against Man City at the Etihad, etc. But I think the team he's picked here is he's got to go and get a performance. I think we're going to win. I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go with 2-0 with this. Are you going to stand up today? I would like to stand up, but honestly, I don't actually feel great today. So I'm just going to take it a little bit steady and see how I go, because maybe in the second half, because as I said, I feel like I'm coming down with something. I don't know what it is. It's my birthday weekend. Balls in your court, United, says Thomas Hopley. And let's get a win in honour of Ahmad's loss, says Sam. Well, we don't have to do it for that. It'd be nice to do it for that, but let's just get a win anyway. Oh, that's wrong. But hopefully it's a motivator. Right, we're ready to go. I can't believe it. Second game of the weekend. Manchester United against the Brighton. New manager. I don't like this ref. Pratson. What's his name? What's this referee's name? I feel like I should know it. I don't know what it is. But he's definitely a Pratt. Right, let's get ready here. United kicking off with Bruno. Pawson, that's it. I called him Pratson, that's why I wouldn't get it. Right, we're off. Man United. Casemiro starting as well. Obviously, no chat about the midfield because we don't really have a lot of choice in the midfield. But look, we're playing a deep line already. Look at how deep we are. Look how deep Maguire and Martinez are. Look at how deep that line is. Look how deep it is on the edge of our box again. Deep line, deep line. I'm taking the piss. Taking the piss. Right, let's have a look. Bruno's playing as the false 9. And Hi, Mark. I've been a subscriber for 10 years this month. I'm watching almost every day. Thanks for all the hard work. Here's to the next 10, says B. Thank you very much. Stephen Statham, thank you very much for joining the members club. Do you think he's starting Maguire and Rashford over Garnacho and De Ligt out of stubbornness or because he's being forced to, says Ajay? If he's being forced to pick them, then Sir Jim and Co can piss off. But United are playing quite deep in possession here. Martinez and Maguire both on the edge of their box, and we've got the ball. Brighton do like to press. I wanted Ten Hag, but worrying selections already. Play your strongest team, says David. So, say hi to my brother Orlando, says Mr. Ben Gibbons. Go on, Mazraoui. Come back, Jermaine Genius. All is forgiven, says Robbo. Things must be bad if you want him back. Bye, Vinny. Good to hear. Brighton applying the pressure, says Jonathan. I think it's going to be a really good test, you know, because although Brighton have got a new manager, they are technically good footballers, and good play there by Mount. Into Ahmad, into Casemiro, bad pass. Weather's very wet here. That Clarkey says, I feel that playing no striker makes us play very narrow. You know, the thing is, we did create some good chances against Fulham before Xerxes came on. When you think about, I think Bruno had 2, Mount had 1. Good play by Disallowed here, but runs into trouble. But Mainu's there. But I do think beyond those 2 chances, we did. I felt Rashford and Ahmad struggled without a striker. It's difficult. It's Maisie says, it's a bit disappointing, the starting lineup, but I hope my disappointment counts for nothing. Crossed into the box there, and Arna gets hold of it. Xerxes on the bench, Hammer, yeah. Keep an eye out for Minte for Brighton as well. Had a very good game last season, last week. And obviously Delo's playing at left back. Here's Bruno. Nice little ball out. Go on, Mazraoui. Go on then. Go on then. He's down right hand side into Ahmad. Go on, overlap. Come back to Bruno. Bruno, first time cross. That's a good. That's where you need Xerxes. That's bread and butter for that keeper, that. How's De Ligt on the bench, says Tom? Yeah, well. Bear with me today, by the way. I'm not 100%. That's why I'm sat down. I came down with something last night. I don't know what it was, but... Does Ricky turn up to the studio in tight jeans and white sneakers, says Silly? I'm getting him some for Christmas. He wants to try some out. I just don't know where to get them. Nice tidy start, though, from United. Here's Casemiro. Lovely reverse pass into Rashford. Bit of space. Go on, then. Get at him. That's fine. That's fine. I ain't got a problem with Rashford there. In fact, if I was Rashford there, I'd have ran at him. Nice ball by Martinez. That's going to go too long. Too long, Bruno. Do you think Ten Hag is testing lineups for his best 11, says Tom? Well, he shouldn't be. I'll tell you what, I'm quite happy with this start. Do you think... thank you very much for that. Woke up at 5:30 just to see Maguire and no Xerxes, says Andre. What's this ref on about? Now it's going like this. It's like he's milking a cow. Just remember, it's Premier League weekend as well. United kicking it off, but I'm live at 5:30 on That's Football as well. Aston Villa play Arsenal. Cracking game that's going to be, especially if we can win here. Also, we will have an evening show tonight. Be around 8 o'clock. Good pressing there. Wins a corner. Ahmad and Bruno. Good pressing. Where are the match stats? Good question. There. Wheelbarrow says, I think Ten Hag puts a lot on fitness. Ten Hag likes fisters. Wheelbarrow says, I think Ten Hag puts a lot on fitness in the first 3 games. And I hope a win makes you feel better, Mark. Come on, United, says Sam. Corner to United here. This is where Maguire could be good. Now, are we going to see an improvement in set pieces? We've got a new set piece coach. No. Wasn't a bad cross, to be fair. Than Bruno, but good play by Ahmad here. Snake hips there, just twisting away from the player. But steady start from Man United. You know, I don't expect to, you know, solve world peace in the first 5 minutes. How's Rashford offside? Here we go again. Remember, I did a video about 3 weeks ago about why Man United don't score enough goals, and we came second in the league last year for offsides. Can you say hi to my brother Theo, says Mr. Ben Gibbons. Hi, Theo. I don't know whether Rashford was offside there, but he's looking straight down the line. And we need to, you know what? People go, oh, it's not that deep, Mark. It really is. When you're second in the league at the end of the season for offsides, if you could just get rid of half of them and be middle in the league, every time you're offside, that's the end of the play. And the opposition goes back to possession. Sometimes you can't help being offside, of course, but... Is Evan Ferguson overhyped? I know he's like a young Hoyland, but it seems Welbeck being picked a lot over him. He's injured, Oddmar. He's not even on their bench, I don't think. Yeah, he's not on their bench. He's only just coming back from injury. They've got some good players to come back from injury, actually. Remember Solly Marsh? I think he's still there. I always thought that Enciso was going to be a good player. He's on their bench, but he got a bad injury, didn't he, at the start of the season? Got some good players, Brighton. I think it's going to take him a bit of time to get up to speed with their new manager. But, yeah, you've got some good players, Brighton. I'm just having a look at the fixtures today, actually. West Ham at Palace at 3 o'clock is interesting. Poor old Ipswich against Man City at 3 o'clock. Spurs-Everton's a big one as well. But, yeah. Be very, very healthy for Man United if we were winning this game today. Good pressing from Mount. Yeah, look, he does press very, very well. I thought he pressed really well last week. I don't think he played very well. I thought he pressed well. Can you call Logan and Isaac a prat? Thanks, Mark, says Golden Pocket. Cooper says, good tracking back from Rashford. But you know what I mean? Like, it's all right to press well. And we've only had 10 minutes, so I'm not that bothered. But, you know, pressing well's great. But I couldn't give a shit about pressing if we don't create chances. Long shot from Pedro there. Long way out. Somebody said, what's Rashford doing there? I think it was, I don't know what you're referring to, because it was Dalot who misplaced the pass into Mainu. Favourite memory, Mark? 1990 treble or your wedding? 99 treble or your wedding? Teddy, I can't. Obviously my wedding. Bloody twat. As if I'm going to, I'm not stupid. Anana makes me have anxiety, says Forever Greatest. Diz says it's goals we need, not pressing. Harry says, who's winning tonight? Villa or Arsenal? I've got Arsenal down to win that in my Super 6. Going to Dublin tomorrow. Hope I can celebrate a United win with a pint in the Hairy Lemon. Come on. United. It's a good day to go to Dublin on a Sunday. Oh, Ahmad. That would have been... It's a big chance. It's a lovely cross by... Dalot on the left-hand side here. Onana plays it perfectly in. Dalot gets up, flicks himself on. This is delightful play. It's so good. You know what? I think Ahmad should score. Has he got too much time here? Just gets the technique wrong. What a chance that was. Lovely cross by Dalot. And look, it wasn't easy. But the cross from Dalot was fantastic. And they say, and that's not his strongest side. Casemiro looks like a shell of himself. Someone please help him. Sad at this point, says Jordan. Presswell sounds like an English surname, says Parker. He could have headed it, says Gaz. Robbo96 says, are you still taking part in the football fill-in? Was very surprised Troy Deeney got himself on there. To me, he's just another chancer who's not a very nice person in real life, like Janus, says Robbo96. Okay. Thank you very much for your super chat. I will still be on the fill-in. I'm not going to be on every week, though. I can't commit to it every week anymore. I had to make some decisions in the summer about, capacity and bandwidth and priorities, which is why I binned off Talk Sport show on a Saturday night, and I can't do the fill-in every week either. So, Casemiro, thank you very much. Yeah, I think with the Ahmad chance, I'd have scored it, so it's hard to be, I'm taking a piss. I think it's sometimes those ones, you had a long time to think about that. And sometimes when you've got a long time to think about it, you can miss a lovely little play here. But I tell you what, Dalot's had a very good start to the game. Read the danger very well there. He's got a big game, Dalot, today. As I say, Minte, good player. Mazraoui's got a good player on Matoma next to him as well. But we've had the best chance here. Mainly with the foul. Can you call Lando, Harry, Evie and Joe Prats listening to you from France whilst on holiday, says James. There you go, a lot of Prats there. Have you listened to the Scripps new album yesterday, says Ikma. I've listened to about half of it, but very much enjoying it. Get your copy now. And watch Greenwood's first game. What a performance from him. A shame certain people couldn't accept he was not guilty. Best of luck to him. What a player, says David. Yeah, it's not Marseille stand. Don't know what the relevance of that is. Don't play for Man United anymore, mate. Stop living in the past. Beautiful cross. Missed those. We use so many more of those. I think we've forgotten to be ready for them since we do so little. Come on, United, says SK. Joshua, thank you very much for your super chat. Reese Evans says, shout you to me, Robert Bartos and James White listening to you in the car on our way to Wrexham to watch Reading away. Oh, the Reading. Oh dear, this is not... I'll tell you what, we played through the press very well there, but there was an element of luck for Martinez and Mainu. I think the pace on the ball from Onana was a bit of a problem there. Rashford throwing the hands to the sky already, says Lee. Go on, Mainu. Brighton's press is good, but we've passed quite well. Rashford holds it up. Good play from United here. We've played through the press really, really well. If this can lead to a chance. Rashford's offside. Get on fucking side. He's done it again. I mean, luckily the ball didn't go through, but he's not. He's looking at the line again and he's going too soon. You see that then? When the ball was on the right. He's gone way too soon again. No wonder we're always bloody offside. Hold your run. You're fast. Hi, Mark. Thoughts on Milner as a footballer, says Custer. I'm surprised he's still playing, but, you know, good player. Good career. Our players aren't used to a cross of that quality, says I got the juice. Are we starting to see a proper Ten Hag side, says the wheelbarrow. Are you and Ben Foster are still on good terms? Yes. I was on a bloody preview last week. I know, people are always looking for drama. Zeno says, well, here is Rashford. Good possession. I love Rashford, but he just looks so nonchalant. Lack of enthusiasm compared to Garnacho. He's reactive and doesn't anticipate, says Zeno. I honestly haven't noticed anything bad about Rashford so far. I disagree that he's lost a yard of pace, which is Rudd says. If he's lost a yard of pace at 26, something's very wrong. I've never known a player at 26 lose pace. Shout out from New Zealand. Love watching you in the community. United for the win, says Cliff Irwin. Thank you very much, Cliff. Oh, well intercepted by Mainu. Edge of the box. Good feet. And the keeper gets hold of it. I think we'll be more clinical when Erasmus comes back. He would love to have been at the end of that cross, given his very good conversion rate, says Teddy. And funds for some cash cans later. Enjoy, says Joy Boy. Thank you very much for your very generous super chat, Joy Boy. You're a legend. Thank you very much. 16 minutes gone. Definitely been slightly the better team, I think. That's a good ball into Minte on the right-hand side, though. Transition from Brighton is good. Now, this is where I worry about Disallowed. One-on-one. Gets past him, but look, good tackle, Casemiro. Good cover. Yeah, you know what? He gets a lot of stick, Casemiro, but the recovery there was good. Minte, and that'll go for a goal kick. That's fine. Good play. Good tackle, Casemiro. Hi, Mark. Can you say congratulations to Nathan for passing his motor mechanics GCSEs and now his first time watching the United stand? Nathan, it's your lucky day. Marcelo says Rashford moans like he actually finishes his chances. I don't know where. I don't know what. Am I watching a different game? I haven't seen him react badly to anything yet. Now here is Rashford. Bit of space. He's gone for a pass that wasn't on there, to be fair. Tried to switch the play. Curtis and Jay, thanks for your super chat. Brighton coach was 9 years when Milner made his 9 years old when Milner made his debut. Says Akshay, that's incredible, isn't he? 31, isn't he? The Brighton coach. They're definitely trying to get down that Disallowed side, though. I mean, we're not using the right-hand side at all. We just don't use it, do we? We just don't go down the right-hand side. Everything is down the left-hand side. And not even just us. I wouldn't know McTominay was playing either. Stats carousel goes round in a minute, mate. It is there. We don't really need the league table. I'll bin that off. We don't need the league table. Not at this time of the season. Let's get that off. But your stats carousel's there. 50-50, pretty much on possession. No shots. Curtis and Jay says, meh. Thank you. Don't know what that means, but there we go. We need to liven it up a bit. He's only going to go and do it. He's only going to go and do it. He's going to stand up for a bit. Don't do it, Goldbridge. You don't feel great. Might spark the team into life as well. Well, look, the best chance of the game, definitely Ahmad. Brighton haven't had a chance. We didn't give up many chances to Fulham. So, I think very early days, very early days, but my thoughts on United are we're a lot more difficult to create chances against, but we're not that entertaining going forward ourselves. It's like, I think there's a lot of pressing, but there's not a lot of chances. Here's Brighton. Pedro, brilliant tackle by Mainu. Not a good tackle, brilliant tackle by Mainu there. Every woman, every man. I hesitate to use the word boring because I just want to win. Here's Ahmad. See, there's no one in the box. I think it's problematic. I know people want to dig out Rashford and, you know, but look at Ahmad there. He cuts inside. There was nothing in the box. Free kick on Bruno. My bro Jake, he thinks you should be in strike, says Grow. How has Mount played, says our Cavalier family. I think Mount's energy and pressing's been very good. Not noticed him massively on the ball, to be honest with you. Why was that not a yellow card? Could have got a yellow card. Do any Indian Hotstar users know how to watch the Premier League in New Zealand? NordVPN doesn't seem to work, says Suyish. Okay. All down the left because Martinez is more comfortable on the ball. Everything starts from there. It's a great point, Patrick. It's a great point. Cross is going to come here from Bruno. Again, set pieces. Let's see what we can do. Stay on side, first of all. Over the bar from Casemiro. Let's have a look. I mean, Rashford's offside. He's not active, though. Oh, look, Brighton's got a leaky roof. Brighton on the attack. Mainu's definitely playing a lot deeper, isn't he? Look, don't tell me we're not playing a deep line as well. Like, the bollocks people will try and tell you. I mean, I've been watching, I've purposely waited 25 minutes. That line is deep. And it has been deep all game. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be deep if De Ligt played, but this nonsense that we're not playing a deep line. I mean, look, we've got a throw in here. Look at where Maguire is. He's right on the edge of our box. We are playing a deep line here today. Definitely. We're definitely scared of that Brighton pace on the break. United aren't alone. The Brighton roof is leaking too, says Joe. We are close together in midfield, making us hard to cut through, but we don't have that striker pinning their defenders back. Sort of a mid-block, says SK. We are very, very difficult to play through today. It's very, very clear. Good play, Mazraoui. Running out of ideas in the final third, says 9. But defensively, we look very, very sound. ZB says the line is very deep. Come on, United. Balls deep, he said. Ricky will be loving this performance, says Philip. I tell you what, ever since I've said that, we still haven't been down the right-hand side. Here's Mount. Good ball into the low. We've moved the ball nicely. Here's Bruno. Another corner. For an away, look, as an away performance, it's not been bad. I must say. I certainly don't think you could moan about it. It's been defensively strong, and we've looked more likely to score. Short corner, Ahmad. Back to Bruno. They're all offside. He's going to put his flag up, surely. Maguire, flick it on. Have a shot, Delo. Have a shot. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, in some ways, it's a good away performance. We're not giving up many chances. They've had none in half an hour. And we've nullified Brighton whilst looking to counter ourselves. I would describe this as a very quintessential counter-attacking performance. I'd be very interested to see if anybody has a different take on it. But I think it's been compact, deep, and countering. We've certainly not pressed high up the pitch like we did against Fulham. I mean, the amount of high recoveries we had from Casemiro and Mainu last week was incredible. So I think it's a very counter-attacking performance from Manchester United. And hopefully the game will open up more in the second half. But I'm impressed that we've not given up any shots. I mean, we've not had any shots on target. I mean, we've not given up any shots on target, and we've not conceded any corners, which is even more impressive to me. Mount is looking better than Bruno, and Garnacho, it needs to make things happen, is missing. Love from Sweden, says Bjorn. I'm liking Mazraoui so far defensively. Need to see what he can do going forward, says Jace. And I hate the number 2, number 10 bollocks, Mark. Bring on Big Xerxes, says all hail. And thank you very much. Do you see how Onana was trying to push Maguire wider so he could pass to him, but he didn't want to, says Sebastian. It's hard to see how De Ligt gets in this team, you know. If it gets another clean sheet, we'll play very differently with De Ligt, but it's hard to see how he's going to get in. Solid is the word I'd use. Would love to see us play a little quicker in the final third, but we're missing that focal point, says Patrick. Gary says, I've got no problem with the performance other than Onana turning the ball over. I wouldn't say I've got a problem with Onana, but I do agree with what you say, Gary. I've got no problem with the performance at all. I think for away from home against Brighton, I'm very happy with it. It's not a great performance, but I'm happy with how the game has gone. We're definitely the better side. And we've got a good break on here. It's a 3v2. Ahmad, I think he could have done better there. Rashford still got it. Trying to take too many people on. Good pass though. Martinez. Ahmad, come back to Rashford. Mainu, lovely ball into Mainu. Into Bruno, offside. I think Ahmad could have played a better pass to Rashford there. Here, watch this. Ahmad here. Now, he needed to play it there. He needed to play that quicker. Xerxes hat-trick, here we go, says Himothy. How do you solve no chances for our striker by not playing a striker? Mainu is immense, but I want to see a striker at 55 minutes, says Edgar. And only Pokemon is at work right now. Quick update on why Maguire is starting. Also, how are we feeling about the performance so far? Well, he's picked exactly the same team that started against Fulham, so I think that's why Maguire is starting. Overall, performance is good. We've been the better side without being completely dominant, but we are playing away from home, and Brighton are struggling against our system. Don't forget to breathe, Mark. I'm getting stressed, says Bjorn. What was the part of chasing De Ligt for weeks just to play Maguire, Mark, says Fergie. Oh, that was a great cross in. McTominay. Oh, for fuck's sake, lads. Oh, it's Dracula FC again. Not dealing with bloody crosses. That's 2. Get fucking De Ligt on. I'm telling you now, watch a certain somebody here on both bloody crosses. Bloody crap. That is a joke. That is an absolute joke. Seagulls have landed. I mean, it's meant to be eagles, but we let seagulls land. Maguire's saying, I can't see the ball. Let's have a look at this. What is he doing? Why doesn't he deal with this? Cross comes in. Deal with it. That you can't do that. And then again. Oh, mate. That is a double whammy from Maguire, that is. I'm sorry. I'm trying to look at... You can't blame Mazraoui on the... Maybe you can blame Mazraoui a little bit on the second one, but Maguire's positioning on both crosses are terrible. That's the first chance Brighton have had. It's a smash and grab from Danny Welbeck, but Maguire's got to deal with that first cross. I think somebody's obviously said something to him because he's going, I can't. Like bloody Orville, I can't fly. Flap your bloody wings, do something. Oh, Mazraoui with the cross. It's a pain, that is, to concede because the way we've been playing. Rashford! Goal! Yes! 1-1. Offside. He's fucking offside again. Why are you offside, mate? Why are you offside? Why are you always offside? Why are you offside? Look at him. Offside. Offside. He's bloody miles off. And he does it again. 2 times. 2 times he's offside on that bloody play. He can't stay onside. He was offside for the first cross and he was offside for the second cross. Tell you what, it would have been a bloody jammy goal. You see the way he finished it? How is he offside there? It's almost like deja vu. Maguire crap on crosses and Rashford offside. We never bloody learn. I'm sorry though. Look, at the end of the day, we've played well and we've conceded because the manager isn't picking his fucking new signing. Ant says, persisting with Harry Maguire and Rashford is going to be the end of Ten Hag. Look, I don't want to make it about that, but I did say it in the week. If you're waiting for a mistake to pick De Ligt, that mistake could cost us points. Look, why not? Why have we got a manager that is waiting for somebody to make a mistake? Well, you know he's going to make a mistake. He did that in the bloody Europa League final. He's always had a problem with low crosses. If it's in the air, Maguire's good. If it's along the ground, he's really bad. Some of us have been here for years. He's really bad with crosses along the ground. And both of them are low crosses. But look, I don't blame, well, I do, obviously Maguire's at fault, but I blame Ten Hag for that. You spend £42 million on a bloody right-sided centre-back that's going to get you up the pitch. And then you put Mr. Plod at the back again. Marcus Rashford's born to be offside, says Al Discreto. Bjorn's just gifted 5 memberships. Chris says Mark needs a heart monitor after this game. At least Harry will be out after that mistake, says Ryan. One thing I will say is Casemiro's been back to world class today, says Fuge. There's only one reason for that, helping the midfield. I don't think he's been back to world class, mate. I don't know what game you're talking about. We're losing 1-0 to fucking Brighton and we've not really created a thing. So I don't know where this world class shit's coming from. Good cross by Mount. Nearly goes for a corner. We need to get a goal back before half time here. Why do we have to teach a 26-year-old how to stay on side, says Abby. Another Maguire blunder, says 90 Stephen. Eric Ten Hag needs to be held accountable for playing him ahead of De Ligt. Zeno says get Maguire out. Both those crosses he lets go across him. Get De Ligt on. He just watches both of them crosses, says Zeno. Maguire standing like a statue is unbelievable. Anana a statue again as well, says Connor. Rebecca, thank you very much. Let's see if we can do something from this corner. Bruno. Too high. Too high. Ten Hag did the same with Varane when Maguire played well last season, says Burge. And good to see Welbeck still had a decent career, says Glenn. You can cut. Last season, we used to cut to the bench of Ten Hag and I'd feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him here. And I'm a massive fan of Ten Hag, but I don't feel sorry for him. I think he's, you know, the trouble is if Brighton score first, you can talk about pressing all you bloody like, but we're not creating enough chances. Another offside. Always fucking offside. Very disappointing to be 1-0 down in this game, you know. If you're not watching it, it's just individual errors again. Even the goal that was disallowed. Rashford should stay on side for that. Colin says Ten Hag needs a Control-Alt-Delete on that team. And Ben Thornton says, Maguire poor. How many times do you have to say this? Look, that's on the manager. I'm sorry. I'm going to be real this season. I fought for him to stay in the summer. But I said when the team came out, if he gets it right, he gets the praise. If he gets it wrong, he gets the criticism. He could have picked De Ligt today, and he didn't do it. And it's cost us a goal. So why do we have to wait? I hope he doesn't take Maguire off at half-time, because if he takes Maguire off at half-time, that proves the point that he was waiting for a mistake to bring De Ligt in, which is weak management. You don't wait for a fucking mistake to bring a better player in. You bloody be a manager and put your best team out. David says Rashford's playing his way off the team. If he didn't have pace, he would be playing for Salford. Robert says he's the manager. He shouldn't wait for a mistake. He's in charge. It doesn't matter if it's fair or not. He's the boss, so he decides. Exactly. Stupid manager with a crap 4-6-0 formation, says Zooting. Nothing like interacting with this community to start the morning. Love from San Diego, says AJ. De Ligt is warming up, says Bjorn. Whose man was Welbeck, says Robert McCormack. Robert, come on. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant whose man Welbeck was, because Maguire should deal with the cross. Favourite sacked. Jose, Ollie, and will sack Ten Hag, says Alexander. Louis says Maguire, have a word with Seb. Definition of stupidity, says Rock of Bolton. Thanks, Louis Mitchell, as well. Andreas says Rashford's been so bad today, it's crazy. I feel like he's a luxury. I'd say that. I feel like he's a luxury player. I think you'd want more from him. 5 minutes to go to half time. Good play here from Rashford, but then he comes back. No. It's a bad pass. It's a bad pass. I tell you what, everything going down the left is pissing me off as well. Rashford's gone down again. Nicholas, thank you. Welcome to Members Club. We need some changes at half-time. De Ligt and Garnacho on. Xerxes after some time. How hard can it be, says Pascal. Maybe he's playing Maguire to get him sold, says Hossin. I don't think that's going to work. Do you think De Ligt will be another Van der Beek, says HR play? No, he wants to play De Ligt. He's got this weird thing of... Basically, he did it with Casemiro as well. He played McTominay ahead of Casemiro when he bought Casemiro. I think he just basically plays a player until he makes a mistake, which I just don't understand. Because you're automatically potentially dropping points. Brighton have been a lot better since they scored as well. Here's Minte. Well done. Hold on, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Your fans are delusional, thinking Erik ten Hag out will help, says the Guzman. And Ahmad needs the ball more. He's danger man, says Callum. Mark, to lead men who like and don't like you to earn their respect, you have to demonstrate that they have an opportunity until they squander it, says Joe. And Red Army says, not like you to blame Maguire on a Martinez mistake. Martinez lost his man. Maguire let the cross in. Mazraoui let the cross in. Mate. Red Army, we all know who you are. Like, I don't know what relationship you've got with Harry Maguire. I don't know whether it's just posters on the wall with sticky stains on them, but you're obsessed with Harry Maguire. So every time you put a contribution in, I would just put the disclaimer there that for 2 or 3 years now, you've been living right up Maguire's arse. So nobody should take anything you say seriously, because you're the one with the agenda in a very positive way. And if you think that Maguire's not to blame for that goal, then you don't know football, mate, because he's got to deal with the cross. Alia says, same old Rashford walking, no commitment. Jamie says, we're playing like Curtis as Nan. Would be very unfair to put De Ligt as a starter in his first starting place against Liverpool, says Pete the Meat. Oh, yeah, exactly. I want us to start using the right-hand side more. Just not using it. Was that Rashford again? Who tried to change the play there like a balloon shot? Bloody hell. It is new. It is a new season, same old United. Somebody just said that in the chat. And the reason you're right is we've conceded and the heads have dropped. But this is attack. This system doesn't work. This doesn't work. Too deep, and there's no focal point up front. Thomas Hopley says, rest in peace, Red Army. Goldbridge with a disclaimer. Players' heads will be dropping again at half-time. The trouble is, Kickoff, it's the fact that we have played some good football, but there's no end product. So you can be well organised defensively, but there's no end product. Like, we're not creating chances. Look at that. We've had one shot on target and they've had one shot on target. We might have been the better team. We might have been better organised. We might have played some little intricate passes, but we're not creating chances. Do you think Ineos got Rude in as ready-made replacement, says Steve? And as an American that's been listening to Talk Sport this week, I see why Simon Jordan is a massive prat. I don't like him. Says Colin. Bad football, bad tactics, bad team selections. When do we just count our losses and go for an experienced manager with a new board, says Callan. Ren's not happy with Maguire. Do you think United will sell Sancho, says Rian. And Bruno and Mount only work for press, kills the attack, nothing in the final third, says Maker. I hate to be wrong. Sorry, I hate to be right. But what were the 3 things I said straight after the Fulham game? First of all, I said Bruno and Mount doesn't work. Don't do it again. I hated it against Fulham. I don't like it here. But people talk about this press. And I talk about actual threat in and around the Brighton box. And it's not there. I think the wingers look confused by it as well, because they're looking up and there's not a striker trying to get in behind. I don't like it. I don't like Mount and Bruno together. I don't think it works at all. I don't know why we're doing it. And we're very, very predictable. We're really trying to use the pace of Ahmad and Rashford in behind. Here is Ahmad. Nice. Oh, no. Now we wait till 75 minutes to change the system. Subs come on, we equalise, happy with a point. Ten Hag needs to change it at half-time or he's risking it, says Ronaldinho. No plan, no high press, no identity. 150 million down the drain, says Daniel. We thrive on the counter. I don't know what Eric Ten Hag's tactics are, says LA Channel. And having Mount and Bruno on is a sin, says Mike B. Ten Hag should not be experimenting at the start of a new season. Put your best 11 on and get a win, says Mohammed. Thank you very much for that. Well, look, just very, very disappointed. But you know what? I hate being right. And I'm sure many of you do as well. Because I literally said it. And many of you did as well. When that team news came out, I said very brave of the manager to do that. Because it's not the team I would pick. It's not the team many of you would pick. But if it works, he deserves the praise. If it doesn't work, he'll damn right get the criticism. And it hasn't worked. And I'm tired of doing this as well. Mourinho, Ollie, Van Gaal, and now Ten Hag. Managers, when you see the team lineup come out and you go, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Mount's good, apparently. Really? What, because he runs around a lot? I mean, I don't know where the standards are for this fan base, really. Mount's good. What the fuck's he done in that game? What has he done? I'm not saying he's bad, but we're losing 1-0, lads and ladies. What has Mason Mount done in that game other than basically hold hands with Bruno, two people doing one person's job? Like, let's be clear, Bruno and Mount are doing one person's job and we haven't got a striker because of it. One of them needs to come off. Now, if you want to take Bruno off and keep Mount on, that's up to you. I'm not here to say that. What I'm saying is, it doesn't work. We don't need two people doing one person's job. It doesn't work. And those centre-backs at Brighton, they may as well have a bloody cigar on. They're not worried at all. So, I'm sorry, I'm not having this. I'm not having, we're playing well. We're losing 1-0. We're not playing well. We've had one shot on target in the whole fucking half. We've created next to nothing. I'm not having that we're playing well. I think we've defensively played deep and compact, and the goal never should have happened, and it should be 0-0. But I hate this system. I absolutely hate it. There is no focal point. There is nobody running in behind. We are so bloody predictable now. He's got to change it, and he needs to do it at half time. The longer it stays like this, the more likely we see McTominay instead of the subs we need, says Tom. And what scares me is we're wasting time haggling over Agate, but I think Ten Hag is still going to bench him for Casemiro when he actually comes in. BC, you're absolutely right, okay? You're absolutely spot on. I'm going to have to sit down for a moment. You're absolutely spot on, because that is exactly what will happen. We will buy Agate. He will not play against Liverpool. And if we get a good result against Liverpool with Casemiro, he will start Casemiro against Forest. And we'll wait for the mistake again. Why does our manager not just pick his best team? Why does he pick players on, oh, we won last week, you've got to work? I mean, why is Garnacho... I didn't want to talk this before the game. Why the fucking hell is Garnacho not starting? Seriously, is there something about Marcus Rashford that I'm missing? Why is Garnacho now on Man United's bench? I mean, he was very good in the FA Cup final when he came on. He was very good when he came on last week against Fulham. And suddenly, he's gone from starting left winger to bench again. And I feel like I'm missing something, because was Rashford not rubbish last year? So why is he got the left wing position again? And why is Garnacho on the bench? Why have you spent £42 million on De Ligt and you're picking Maguire, who, lo and behold, makes a mistake? We all know he is, and we concede a goal. And why is Xerxes not playing up front when you spent, £35 million on him and he scored last week? Maybe he can't play 90 minutes, but maybe playing for fucking 60. I just think there's three team selections that should have been made today. De Ligt, Xerxes and Garnacho all should have started. Now, Maybe one of them's struggling with fitness. I don't know. But you're telling me they're all struggling with fitness. They've all got knocks. I don't think so. It's frustrating because there's no excuses this season at the moment. There are no excuses. We need to be doing better. And I look at that performance at half time and I don't really know really know where to go with it. I would flip it around and say, yeah, easily we could have been winning 1-0. Probably should be 0-0, but it's nothing I haven't seen before. People are trying to talk about a new Man United. I've seen that before. I've seen going away, defending deep and counter-attacking for the last 6 years. And effectively, that's what that was in that half. That was just counter-attacking football. Ganacho and Xerxes on, please, says Scott Page. Terrible management. Zapatashi says, I don't understand why we're using Rashford. He's so predictable. Now, everyone knows his tricks, but he's doing the same thing. Alan says, need Xerxes and Ganacho on, and we need to use the right side more. I mean, God, look, if you think like people have got agendas and stuff, that's fine. Seriously, from a football point of view, that line is ridiculously deep. We're defending so fucking deep. It's unbelievable. But on top of that, everything's going down the left-hand side. I mean, I've hardly seen the ball on the right-hand side at all. Everything's going down the left-hand side. And this happened a lot last season as well. Why is everything going down the left-hand side? Can we at least switch it up a little bit? Ricky says, Ricky, welcome to Members Club. Alan says, get Xerxes and Ganacho on. We need to get Xerxes for Mount and move Bruno to 10. This system does not work and Eric needs to wake up, says Akshay. We are solid today, says Hub G. Great triangles, created some decent chances with Mount giving us the only shot on target. He was offside, mate. I love how people talk about Mount's shot. He was offside. Watch the fucking game. The flag went up. It was offside. Would you play Xerxes over Rashford, says Ria? No, because I'd play Ganacho over Rashford. Q Quit 77, thank you. Welcome to Members Club. You don't just drop a player if he's been playing well. Signing must wait for his chance. This is what keeps the chemistry and camaraderie in the squad, says Ibrahim. Ibrahim, you've just given an opinion. Well done. You can't say you don't just drop a player. You do what you fucking well like. If you spend £42 million on a player and they're fit, you put them straight in your team. What are you talking about? It's not bloody school sports day where everyone gets a first fucking place sticker, even if they finish last. They've just literally highlighted on TNT Sports that Maguire's at fault for the goal. Like, because even they're not stupid. So basically, Ibrahim says that we should just pick the team based on if you won last week and you've got to earn your place in the team. How does that work then? How does that work? So we've got to wait for mistakes that we know are going to happen before we put better players in. Why did we spend all summer moaning about signing centre-backs and then we're picking the old centre-back again? If Delow played for City or Liverpool, would be considered world-class. What a player. One of the most complete right-backs in the Premier League, says Dave. Andy Atherton, welcome to Members Club. Rashford needs to be taken off for the next 2 or 3 games. I'm sick of him, says Joshua. Christian Carpenter, #progression. I've been Ten Hag in for 2 years, but his selections are poor. And if Rashford plays all 90 minutes, then nothing has changed. Player power prevails, says Kevin. Mark, even if we win, the stubbornness that Ten Hag has is the reason we are behind in the first place. What is the point of having De Ligt, says Rashid. We went from McFred to playing Mount Nandez, says DHB. Jackie Boy says Goldbridge is sitting down. We press well, we keep possession, and we play semi-decent in the system, but it's a total waste of time because we create nothing. We need a striker, says Michael Cunningham. I would agree with all of that. You know, there's been some nice little passages of play, but we don't create anything. And you can't play without a striker at this. Ollie Watkins, Aston Villa. Isak, Newcastle. Erling Haaland, Manchester City. Tony, Brentford. What have they got in common? Got strikers who score goals and win them games. Play with a fucking striker. How do we all agree that Xerxes, Ganacho and De Ligt should be starting, but Ten Hag doesn't? This is a boring formation, and no doubt McTominay will be on first, says Lloyd. Ten Hag has a bit of I have to be fair problem sometimes. It's a great attitude to have in life, but sometimes you have to drop a player who's done well for the benefit of the team, even if they don't deserve it, says Nat. I agree. We can't create any chance unless it's from a quick pass in transition. We can't create any chance by stringing together some consecutive passes, says Anil. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. We've got 70,000 watching. We're on the road to 2 million. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're about 50 away from 922,000. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Club 1878 says, does Mrs. Goldbridge understand what you do for a living, or does she think you found a way to get paid to chat to your mates at the pub? Xerxes, Delit and Garnacho has to come on now, says Wayne. I can't believe that he's waiting for problems to make the subs. That should have started in the first place. Yeah, well, we spoke about this in the preview. You know what I would describe it as an analogy. It's like you're in the living room and you look up and you see in the top corner of your ceiling a drip, right? So you go upstairs and above that room is the shower cubicle. And you think, well, somewhere that shower is leaking. And instead of doing anything about it, you just go, well, I'll tell you what, I could probably fix it now, but I'll wait for the roof to come in. Let's keep using the shower. And I don't understand that mentality, because it's the same in football as well. Maguire is not good enough for the system that Ten Hag wants to play. He's not quick enough. He doesn't want the ball off Onana, and he will make mistakes. So you bring in a defender that you think can do all the things you want, but then you pick Maguire until the roof comes in again. I don't get that. I really don't get that. I don't get it. Sports Cell says, if we sacked Ten Hag last year and not listened to Mark, we would be in a much better place. Mate, you'd probably have Gareth Southgate in charge, so I don't think you'd be in a better place at all. And I don't know what you're talking about sacking the manager for. Garnacho, I think it's because Ten Hag, when he came in, he wants to get the best out of Rashford. He's put all his eggs in that basket and he's too stubborn to admit it. He is wrong. So he's hoping for a miracle. Look, in relation to Jackie Boy, thanks for the super chat. In relation to, Ollie did it with Maguire. Spent £80 million on Maguire and, was always going to fall on that sword. There's plenty of players who do this. Mourinho did it with Fellaini to a certain extent as well. It's sad, but sometimes a manager gets obsessed with a certain type of player and it can lead to the end of their job. Rashford and Maguire are going to get another manager fired, says Vacation, but that manager doesn't have to pick them. I don't blame Maguire and Rashford for being picked. That's on the manager. Martinez looks tired of Maguire, says Myper. Somebody had a pop at Maguire on that cross. I don't know whether it was Casemiro or Martinez, but somebody did, because Maguire was having a moan back. Not playing Xerxes right now could be a precaution, seeing how Højlund ain't available for the time being. However, keep playing Maguire is a shame, says Killen. Ten Hag's stubbornness will be his end, says Jeffrey. My no-legged Nan has more finesse than Rashford, says Jamie. Peacock is blaming Martinez, of course, says Stuart. Is Ten Hag really the man for the job, says Rolling the Dice. We're 1-0 down to Brighton, having played reasonably well without a striker and because our centre-back, who shouldn't be playing, made a mistake. I don't think we should be leaping from Ten Hag should have been sacked in the summer. How can you talk about camaraderie in a team that has a player who was nominated for PFA Young Player watching Rashford get picked over him? I would lose my shit, says Thomas. Yeah, well, I chose not to say anything about Garnacho being on the bench again because I knew I'd get myself in trouble, but I'm absolutely bewildered by it. I mean, I completely agree Xerxes should be playing, and I completely agree Delit should be playing, but why is Garnacho on the bench again? I've got absolutely no idea. He should be one of the first names on the sheet, and he's being benched again. It's incredible to me. If you want to win, get Mount, Maguire and Rashford off, says There will still be English pundits saying Harry is better than Delit, says Ewan. Ten Hag might be good, but he's not smart, says Parker. Do you think we'll announce Agate today if we lose, says AMT. And new players have earned their spot after 8th place, says Keel. Yeah, well, this is what I mean. Like, why does a new player have to... I mean, Keel makes a great point. Why has a new player got to earn their place in this team? Last time I checked, we were shit. And we finished 8th. Those players that are keeping new players out had their chance last season. I don't care if they had a good pre-season. I don't care if they played well against Fulham. You've had your chance. Some of them have been here for years. They've had their chance. Get the future on. Will there be any changes at half-time? I'll be stunned. Xerxes could be coming on if he doesn't make a change up front, was what I was going to say, because we're losing. It's one thing to be 0-0 at half-time at home, but we're losing the game. and we need to win the game, really. So I was going to say I'd be stunned if he doesn't get Xerxes on, because we need goals, and you can't keep with that shit. I defend Ten Hag, but he never picks the best teams to Santiago. The interesting thing will be that he'd probably take Mount off. He'd probably take Mount off at half-time, who many of you thought did quite well. Maguire and Rashford coming out for the second half. Garnacho still not coming out. Yeah, Mount off at half-time, I think. I defend Ten Hag, but he never picks his best team to Santiago. Let's face it, Ahmad hasn't shown enough to stay in the starting 11. He didn't versus Fulham, and I was surprised to see him starting today, says Luke. I'm confused, says Andy Atherton. I thought Maguire was fourth choice centre-back and De Ligt was brought in so we could play a high line. Please, Eric, Xerxes for Mount, Garnacho for Rashford, and De Ligt for Maguire. It would also help Bruno, says Andy Atherton. We'll win this game, trust me, says Marangs. The goals will come from the wingers as Xerxes will drop down and allow passes through the high defence. Hope you're right, mate. And he is playing Maguire for the last game performance, but he doesn't play the players who are creating goals in the last game. Double standards, says Sapatashi. De Ligt is a lightweight and can't play high line, says Graham Souness. Good playing out from the back, but that's it, says Daryl. And I defend. Okay, we've done that. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe. Xerxes on and Mount is off. So that's Ten Hag abandoning his... I said after Fulham. I know we beat Fulham, but I said after the Fulham game, don't do that again. He's done it for another half, and hopefully that'll be the end of that, because it doesn't work. This is how we should be playing with the striker up front. Up and running. Let's turn this around. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. We're only 10 away from 922,000. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Fulham on the attack here. He's got a great chance to get a shot off, and over the bar. Milner as well. Sleepy. Mount, different class to Bruno. I feel for him, says Robert. Got to be honest, Robert. People think I'm quite tunnel-visioned and stubborn. I am quite stubborn, but I'm not tunnel-visioned. There was a lot of you saying at half-time that Mount had a good half. I certainly don't think he was terrible. But this is where favouritism resides with Ten Hag. I've said it about Rashford, and you can say it about Bruno as well. He is never going to take Bruno Fernandes off. So Mason Mount could play... Mason Mount could have been man of the match. He'd still be coming off so that the striker can come on. Because there's no one else he can't take Casemiro off. He can't take Mainu off. He'll never take Bruno off. So it's got to be Mount. It has to be Mount. Whether he played well or not, it has to be Mount. Rub says, Mount is off. I like that, says Rub. Mount, different class to Bruno, says Robert. I would have made changes to this team, but everyone's forgetting Brighton are good. Solid, quick and at home. We aren't owed a win. Do you think that De Ligt at full potential is a top 5 centre-back in the world, says Goldstar? Well, we need to see him bloody play first. Apparently, Rio Ferdinand just said Mount must have been taken off for injury. He really ain't that bright, is he? He really ain't that. Again, another bloody pundit talking to the masses, ain't got a bloody clue. Mount's been took off for fucking injury. What a prat. He ain't got it all going on, has he? You know what? I never would have even thought that. De Ligt's warming up and Garnacho's warming up. Never in a million years would I have thought Mason Mount's come off for injury for Xerxes. Come on. Absolute nonsense. They'd probably say he was injured now. Mark sitting on the fence again, says Dazza. About what? I don't sit on the fence, Dazza. We need a Spartan mentality. Do it our Do it or out, says Mark. Everything Rashford plays, it feels that we force it to him all game to use his pace. It's predictable. Makes the right side off due to the lack of chances, which makes any mistake look worse on the right. Sugartown Scott, thanks for joining the members club. Took us 87 minutes to score last game. Why is Xerxes not starting? Baffling, says Grim. And how would you fix the current Man United problem, says Yukov. And Mount is off. I like that, says Rub. How would I fix Man United? Well, he's done one of the things that we needed to do, which is get a striker on the pitch. Garnacho's warming up and De Ligt's warming up as well. He'll take Maguire off. Maybe just didn't want to do it at half time. Dodger says, you missed my super chat. Mate, it does get very busy here. I'll try and find it. Take the individual mistake out. We've played well, says Niki. We've not created enough, though. Peacock blaming Ahmad over Rashford. I have no words, says Pick. Well, your mainstream's as shit as ours then, isn't it? Backpage says, I think we'll lose 3-0. What's that? Aman says, why the focus on Rashford? Ahmad's been the worst player on the pitch. I don't think he's been the worst player on the pitch. I think that I agree with you. I think Rashford and Ahmad have had very similar halves. AGM says we need to use the signings we brought in. Right, Maguire now. Trying to push forward. Watch him take Martinez off and Ahmad off for De Ligt and Garnacho, says Sam. Mate, you never know. You just never know with this coach what he might do. One minute. I won't be a minute. It's going to be like 10 seconds. I need to get some pills. Got my headaches coming back. I haven't missed a goal, have I? Luke says, problem is a lot of judging performance on a curve based on how bad we play as a team. You can't expect it to be better if you do that. Mount was a 6 out of 10. I'd give Mount a 6 out of 10. Player ratings after the game, of course. We're in trouble here. Cleared off the line by Delo. Terrible start, this. Terrible start to the half. We're all over the place. Nearly 2-0. Milner, runner from the midfield again. Watch this. Pedro goes past Martinez. Definitely not a foul. Good job Delo's there, because I thought Onana could have done better there. That was like a balloon shot. Alvis Bridge too fast, says Jackie. Hi Mark, love the channel. You helped me get through some tough times. Love to you all, says Riley. Thank you very much, Riley. Hughes Lad says, I like Ten Hag, but he's worrying me. Every game the lineup or tactics are off. Chuck says, Maguire kills all the team's hard work. He must go. Thank you very much for that as well. It's all Brighton here at the moment. And I'm not talking Marcus. Marcus Albrighton. So sick of long balls, FC. Only big team that do it, says Matthew. Pete says, do you think Liverpool win at Old Trafford next Sunday? I think if we lose here, Liverpool will beat us next week. We've got to turn this around in this half. United can't progress forward with egos like Rashford, Bruno and Casemiro in the team. They hurt the team more than anything at the moment, says Dodger. Is Maguire all right? Milner beating him for pace, says Zeno. He had the run on him, to be fair. Nice play there. They've got to get Mainu in the game as well. The amount of times Martinez ignores the Maguire pass. And Casemiro. Although he plays it there. Hi Mark, been in a haircut which took over an hour, so I haven't been able to watch. How's the match so far and how did we concede? Oh, Xerxes. Into the box. Back to Bruno. Hit it first time. First time! You're playing in the Premier League. Don't take a touch. It's got to hit that first time. No, not in the Premier League. You don't get time like that. Hit it first time. Rashford equals polar opposite of Man United player, says Dougie. It's only our second game and I'm already depressed. It's going to be a long season, says Clayton. Hi Mark, been in a haircut. Look, we weren't terrible first half. We weren't terrible first half. The problem was we conceded from a shit goal. And you can't do that. It's too reminiscent of United over the last few years where you're in a game and then a silly mistake costs you. Minte. Good header by Delo. Tennyson says, nothing shows me Ten Hag is an elite manager, honestly. Well, Brighton have been attacking a lot. Free header, Welbeck against Maguire. What the fuck's he doing? Get him off. Why is Maguire getting caught out here? What's the excuse here then? Because he's good in the air. Why is he stuck underneath that? Worrying. Brighton are actually doing quite well in this second half. Here's Ahmad. Go on, play the ball. I feel like we're holding on to the ball. Offside. Everybody's offside. All offside again. Fucking... You're all offside. Offside again. Look at Brighton. They're not fucking stupid. 3 offside. They know exactly what to do. They know exactly what to do. I back Ten Hag, but the problem I have with the team and Ten Hag is that as a supporter, you're rarely confident in the team. I feel like a toss-up, says Robert. Take Casemiro, Maguire and Rashford now off, says Santiago. What is Ten Hag's obsession with Mount and Rashford? It's killing me, says Black Wolf. And Maguire is like a cancer. He's got to go. He's awful, says David. And I hope you're having a good day, says Gavin. Well, not really. I was very content with United's performance at 0-0, but that bloody goal. And at the moment, they look more likely to score. I tell you what, we've got player ratings after this game. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, star for your man of the match. Good luck with that. I ain't got a bloody clue who I'd give man of the match to. I haven't got a bloody clue. Delo, probably. Chris says, I know you said it's the shirt, but Xerxes looks fat. Bruno's throwing his arms around again. It's so annoying, says Josh. Look, 15 minutes have gone already. He needs to make changes here. Yeah, a lot of people saying Disallowed. He needs to make changes. Needs to make changes. I'm making changes. I'm going to the stand-up position. He could take either of his wingers off. Yeah, doesn't need to be Rashford. Could be Ahmad. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Brighton. Cross comes in. Onto the bar. I tell you that they deserve this. They deserve this. We are playing shit. Make some fucking changes. That would be game over as well. Isaiah says, start your signings. What the fuck, Mark? Your face and lips look very pale today. Are your hands or feet cold? No, they're not, but I don't feel great today. What do you think of a duo of Maguire and Dunk in United? Same playing style and faster turnaround in Jules, says Howder. Why isn't Garnacho starting, says BND? Don't know. Ten Hag needs to start his time. Henry, cool, thank you. Anana's there. Make some fucking changes, mate. Brighton are now in the ascendancy here. They're the better team. We're really struggling. Heads drop again. Nothing's changing, you know. Same players, same problems. Look at Rashford, he's in acres. Got to get Garnacho on. You got to get Garnacho on. But you got to get Garnacho on the left because we don't go down the right. Go on, Ahmad. Go on, Ahmad. Yes! Get in! 1-1. Ahmad, what a goal. Sportsdirect.com. United back level. He was always going to have a moment, Ahmad. And that is his moment. Come on, then. Come on, then. I tell you what, they hit the bar at one end. We're not looking good. And then we go up the other end and score. That's very much like what Brighton did in the first half, where they sort of scored slightly amongst... Oh. Nah, I don't know. Might be a bit of offside. But look, brilliant play by Ahmad. Brilliant play. And I don't think the keeper was saving this anyway. But that's wing play for you. That's wing play. Superb. Now get bloody Garnacho on and let's win it. Could be offside, some people are saying. Unfortunately, the press is gone without Mount. Xerxes is good, but still a little too heavy. They're checking VAR here. I think he looked on. Get in, yes. The guy at the top, get in. Get in. Henry says, Rashford's playing as a striker now. He's changed the formation. Now we look poor. Simon says, people complaining on Mount. We've been worse since he gone off. Well, we're level, Simon. Does Ten Hag have Rashford in his FPL team? Get Garnacho on, says Stian. Brendan says, is Ten Hag going to do anything? You missed my chat. Well, he won't make changes now, will he? Because we're back fucking level. But I wish he... Just make the fucking changes, man. Brighton actually were playing very well before the goal. I still think it's very much up for grabs here. Christian says, I remember you saying reason why Ten Hag got the job was because he was going to make Rashford the main guy. That's probably why he won't take him off. Carl, thank you very much for your super chat. Ahmad, legend. And out of position, Delo is our man of the match. Says a lot, says Amir. Lovely play by Bruno. And Ahmad's down the right-hand side. This could be very good. Oh, good defending by Brighton there. It's got to take Rashford off now, surely, for Garnacho. Well, he needs to make these subs. He would have been making them at 1-0. Garnacho's coming on. It's got to be for Rashford. It's got to be for Rashford. Get him on the left. Make the subs and go for the win, says Ryan. This game's there. I don't think it ends 1-1. As I say, I think Brighton have been a lot better second half. Jace says, if Ahmad gets subbed off now over Rashford, I'll lose my shit with Ten Hag. Oh, I'd never even thought of it like that. Rashford's not been in the game second half. I think it will be Rashford for Garnacho. Yeah, I'd be very surprised. I mean, Ten Hag has taken Rashford off before as well. Milner looks like a what? I don't know what that is. Warren. Ahmad, elite mentality after such a bereavement. Look at Rashford again. He's bloody miles off. No, he's got to take Rashford off. He's just there for the ball in behind. It's not good enough. Why is he obsessed with keeping Fernandes on? I can't anymore, says Tyler. Right, here's some subs. Yeah. Rashford. It's the right sub. It's the right sub. Yeah, definitely the right substitution there. Got emotional, so happy for Ahmad, Andre. I mean, it'd be interesting if if Ahmad hadn't have scored, would he have took him off? We'll never know. The play has switched to the right, and would you look at that? We score, says Chiri. And why is he up? Thank you very much. Well, we've got a chance to go and win this game now. Xerxes on. Garnacho's on. 25 minutes. Let's win it, lads. Come on. Be a right positive feel to the team now if we can. I don't know why. I thought De Ligt was going to come on, to be fair, with he had, you know, he looked ready. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Camera cuts to Rashford. I don't think he can have any complaints there. He's played 60 minutes. Good ball by Mainu. Here's Disallowed. Back into Garnacho. Into Casemiro. Goes for a shot. Rashford is useful as a life vest on the Titanic, says Jamie. They were actually quite useful, mate, actually, because they allowed people to float in the water long enough for some boats to pick them up. I remember you had done that one. Thank you very much. Thank you. Give De Ligt a chance, says Oracle. Look, I still think Brighton could score. I think there'll be a winner here. I tell you what, Mazraoui has kept Mitoma very quiet, though. I know Mitoma was out injured a lot, but this season could be the end of Rashford, says I see dead bodies. I don't know. United playing transitional football thoughts, says Umzi. Lovely play by Xerxes, a bit unlucky there. Don't know why Ahmad didn't get it. The Mount Rashford expedition perishes at 65 minutes, says Sugar Town. Free De Ligt, says Mike. It's always Thing is, though, if you're Garnacho and you don't start and you should start, you know you're going to come on around 60 minutes. Same with Xerxes. But as a centre-back, if you don't start and you should start, it's not a position where you tend to see them get brought on. I'll tell you what, though, I agree with what somebody said in the first half. If he's thinking about playing De Ligt against Liverpool, I think that's absolutely idiotic to give De Ligt his debut against Liverpool, and unfair. So I think you've got to stick Maguire in against Liverpool, because today was the day to get De Ligt bedded in. It'd be very unfair to put him in against Liverpool, but knowing Ten Hag, probably bloody will. No, I think he'll play Maguire. What are these fans on about taking Bruno off? Honestly, he's the last player we should be worrying about, says Ibrahim. What would you rate the game? I haven't been watching, says Timothy. If we win it, it becomes a 7 for me. At the moment, it's probably a 6. Here's Garnacho. Oh, he's put a good cross back there. Ahmad. James says Rashford is about as useful as eyesight. I mean, look, I wouldn't say he was awful. But I certainly think the substitution was the right substitution. Why did we buy Mount, says DD? Well, very, very good question. Ten Hag should drop Rashford against Liverpool. Everyone has to fight for their place, as he said before the match, says Chris. I just can't believe we're still picking Harry Maguire. I mean, he just doesn't offer anything, does he? Look, he's not comfortable on the ball, really. He's not dynamic. He's not quick. What a ball by Onana that is. Delo. Oh, great. The good defending there from Brighton. Lovely ball by Onana. Now it's a 3v2. Good defending. Got to be careful of that on the break. Right, here's Bruno. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Ahmad. 3v4. You've got to use this. 3v4. Bruno. Xerxes. Garnacho. Goal! Is he offside? Is he offside? Garnacho seems to think not. No, I think it's a goal. I think he was looking back. I just saw somebody put their flag up. Or their hand up. Pawson's getting involved. I'm panicking. I hate VAR. I hate VAR. Watch this. Bruno, they're saying there could have been an offside here. Well, Ahmad's on. That's onside. Why is VAR ruining this moment? Ahmad. Bruno's onside. Garnacho. Oh, I don't know whether Xerxes on the line. Oh, I think Xerxes offside, you know. What's he fucking doing? Oh, fucking hell. What is Xerxes doing there? He's ruined it. Xerxes ruined it. He's offside. He's on. Basically, Garnacho's put it into the empty net. And Xerxes on the line, kneeing it in. I can't speak. Can't fucking speak. Garnacho's putting the ball into an empty net and Xerxes need it in on the line. So it's offside. Fucking believe it. Chris says Garnacho's done more than Rashford in the match. Funny game this. Each time either play well, they concede. Better keep Maguire on then, says the K-Stone. Come on, Mark. Xerxes did not mean to do it, says Pascal. Honestly, we've got to be the most unlucky team in the world, says James. And Mason Mount's the worst number 7 I've seen in my lifetime, says Superfly. Is Ten Hag scared of injuries preserving players, says Papa. Chiri says Xerxes as a focal point has made us better. Look, I don't even know if Xerxes can get out of the way of that, really. Just go and win it again. Just have to go and win it again. To be fair, notice I didn't go mad on that. I was worried about that. And I was right. Sometimes you get a feel, don't you? Fudge says he was unlucky. He tried to get out of the way. It was unlucky. He was going for the cross himself. Unfortunate, says Damien. He just can't get out of the way from the Bruno cross, says Niki. Well, here we go again. The game is open, though. Here's Garnacho. He needs some support. What we got? 17 minutes. Got to be very careful about the break. It's end to end. 4v4 here. We're playing a game of basketball again. There's no need. Good tackle, Maguire. So unfortunate that Garnacho has rifled it into Xerxes. He was trying to stand. Only thing he can do is lie down flat, make up for it. United says Trinity. It's the momentum of the sliding tackle. It's not his fault, says Raymond. He can't get out of the way of the cross, says Niki. It's a bit of a basketball game now. You've got to go for the win, though. Oh, what's this? Free kick on the edge of the box. Danny Welbeck. Jarvis says United can't lose this now. They bloody can, mate. Yeah, Ahmad does get Danny Welbeck right on the edge. Sarvish says, how was that offside? I've seen them both. I've seen them given. Yellow card for Ahmad. Good free kick position. Gilmore. Not really somebody I'd associate with free kicks, but it's a good position. Player ratings links in the video description, by the way. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Might be a little bit early to do it, but we don't need this going in. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Good free kick position here. Wall's got to do its job. It's going top left corner, Onana. Good job by the Wall. Blocks it. Back post. They're queuing up. And Arna's got that. Well done. Roll it out. Quick, 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 quick. Come on. Move it. There's Disallowed. Garnacho needs a bit of help. Doesn't get it. Another foul. And a yellow card again. He's getting a bit card happy now. Manu booked. I'm just wondering if there's another sub we could make. Maybe Ahmad for Anthony. Bit of quick legs. Fresh legs. What say ye? What say ye? I'd go Anthony for Ahmad. Just a bit of pace. Delit's coming on. McTominay. McTominay? Why? Well, Delit's coming on. Maybe it's sentimentality because it could be his last minutes in a United shirt, but maybe he can score. Bruno, the hit Xerxes pass. Agate and Tone in, says John. And Cisso's on for them as well. Good player. Please do subscribe, by the way, just while it's a substitution break. Bottom right-hand corner. We're getting close to 923,000. Bruno off. Maguire off. Bruno off's a weird one. Because you basically... Yeah, I don't get that. You're taking your captain off. Mainu is tired, says Chiri. Ten Hag loves a bit of McSauce on his chips. We should still be winning this game, says SL. I was looking for somebody who said it was good. Fair play to Ten Hag for taking him off, says Lazed. No, I think that's weird. 10 minutes to go and you've taken off both your creative midfielders. I mean, Scott McTominay's never had an assist in his life. I don't understand that. I think even Bruno was surprised by that. I mean, all McTominay's going to do is get in the way of Xerxes. He's not going to create. So I find that weird, to be honest. But hopefully it'll work. Delit looks like an absolute unit. Hyped for him, says Lonnie. It's you know, you can see straight away. It's the pace, isn't it? Of Ahmad's off, Miles off. It's a shame there. You've got to trust Xerxes. McTominay would be the false nine along with Xerxes, I guess, due to his finishing ability, says Anarug. Yeah, you can see from Delit straight away. He's just quicker. And because he's quicker, everything moves quicker. Come on, we've got to move quick here. And on a fucking move. Come on! Stop holding on to the bloody ball. Oh, for fuck's sake. What are you doing? Move the fucking ball. Still got a chance of winning this. Bruno for McTominay. Is Ricky managing the game? Says it's CJR. Look, a draw is not a terrible result, but... after that Garnacho chance, I feel like... the corner here for Brighton. Here it comes. Cross comes in. What if Mount is the long-term replacement for Bruno, says Bjorn? Well, he can't be the long-term replacement when he's on the bloody bench, can he? When he's not on the pitch. And that's the problem with starting both of them. If you're going to take Bruno off with 15 minutes to go, it'd be nice to bring Mount on, wouldn't it? But he's already took him off. I don't understand the Bruno substitution because at least he's the player that can transition. Where's the creativity going to come from now? We'll see. Although Xerxes got that in his locker. I think Garnacho's offside here. Dario says United are going to win. I hope you're right, mate. Jason says it's definitely going to be a draw. What we got here? What we got? 7 minutes of normal time. I think Xerxes knew it was offside, you know. Just watching that back, I think he knew. Couldn't get out of the way. Not a lot you can do now. Just got to hope something happens. It was clear Bruno was tired, says Dawes. Here's Garnacho. Wins a corner. I think Anthony's coming on. I saw someone coming on there. Some good height here. Maguire's gone off, but De Ligt's 6'2". Xerxes 6'3". McTominay's on there, 6'3". Casemiro's good in the air. If we can get a decent cross in. Obviously no Bruno there, so Ahmad's going to take it. Red Devil says another season, same old United. Different type of cross. Not that. No, I don't like them sort of crosses. Well done, Garnacho. Come on. Yeah, he hung that cross up. That's never. You're never going to score from them. I'm fed up with these balls as well. There's 5 minutes to go, mate. Stop fucking looking for a long ball over the top. Anya says that the missus is filing for divorce if United draw. Could still go the other way, you know. Brighton hit the bar just before we made it 1-1. Oh, good play there. Good defending, though, from Delo. Still in here, though, Brighton. Got to make the tackles. Good play, Mainu. Right, McTominay, pass it. Okay, now. Here we go. Garnacho. Ahmad. Oh. I'd take Ahmad off for Anthony now. It's got to be worth it for 5 minutes. He's surely tired. There is a chance on the break for United. There is a chance. Here we go. McTominay. Garnacho. He will get there. Down on the left-hand side. Oh, he's lost the ball. Good defending. But not a good place to use it for Garnacho. What we got here? That's back with the keeper. '87. We've had late drama at Brighton before. I remember that one where they had the penalty. Not sure we're going to get it today. We've had our chances as Fenwick. Well, we've won the game. That Garnacho goal, we've won it. It's just very bad luck. When is Rasmus back, says Bjorn? Be after the international break, so Liverpool after that. Playing with false nines again, says the European Trey. Good play, Mainu. Pass and move, pass and move, pass and move. Don't pass blind, Ahmad. Go on, then. Yeah, yellow card. Martinez got fouled. Van Heck. What the heck? I think this game's drifting a bit now, isn't it? Don't forget to do your player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Still a minute or so, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of time added on. Anthony is going to come on here. I think it's going to be for Ahmad. It's disappointing that goal didn't go in, you know. I really do feel like we could have got 3 points here today. See who Anthony comes on for. I don't know whether he's coming on for Ahmad here. Is he coming on for Ahmad? 3 subs for Brighton with a minute to go. Yeah, Ahmad does come off. If we want top 4, you got to win these games, says Henry. Oh, I agree, mate. I agree. I agree, but it just feels like a draw. Here's Anthony. He's got a pass. Goes to the line. Mazraoui, edge of the box. Don't shoot from there, Casemiro. I hate it when there's so much time left in a game, so little time left in a game, and people take shots like that. There's a better pass there. Garnacho and De Ligt have done more in their time on the pitch today than Rashford in the first 2 games. Must start against Liverpool, says Ash. I agree with Henry. If you want top 4, you have got to win these games. Bloody hell, Casemiro, that pass was shite. McTominay, just play the pass. Stop trying to take people on. See, we stopped doing the simple things now. 7 minutes added on. Could be time here. You got to take a deep breath here. 7 minutes added on. Oh, I'll tell you what, though, it's Brighton on the attack. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Brighton still on the attack here. They want to put a quick cross in. I'm not happy with the starting team or the subs, says Daniel. Well, you're literally coming from behind, aren't you? If you get your team wrong. Drawing away versus Brighton is not that bad, I presume, but a win is a win, says Francesco. Drawing against Brighton won't be bad if we beat Liverpool at Old Trafford, but beating Brighton here gives us a little bit of leeway against Liverpool. You know, obviously I want to beat Liverpool, but if we could win here and then not get beat at Old Trafford, then 7 points be good. Still time. But we're not getting the chances on the break that we were getting a few minutes ago. And that's the problem. I see nearly 3 minutes of the stoppage time's gone already now. I am doing Villa against Arsenal at 5:30 on That's Football. We've got the match reaction next, and we've got the fan forum. Bloody hell. And CISO. I thought that was going in. Nearly shit myself. A draw is not good enough, says Saul. Thought that was going in. I really thought that was going in. I think there's a few people in the chat who thought that was going in as well. It was, yeah, to be fair, Inana's got that covered. It was an overreaction. I apologise. So, to be honest, it looks like Brighton. Well done, Delit. Brighton are the team doing the attacking here. United seem to have lost their attacking impetus since McTominay came on. Weird sub. I don't think Bruno wanted to come off, and I don't think it's done us any favours. Brighton, corner, up they go, edge of the box, got to defend this. They're still in the attack. There it is. I don't know what to say. I'm absolutely gutted. I don't know what to say. 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 I really don't. You know, it was always possible. I think I don't know. Look, what's McTominay doing here? Why is nobody on the back? There's not one player on the back. Where is Disallowed? Dallow's playing at right back. There's nobody on the back post. They're completely unmarked. I mean, that is just shocking defending. Delit's like, where is everybody? Oh, I just don't know what to say. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. That Bruno sub killed us. And I don't know why he did it. I don't know why he did it. I don't know. I don't know. How have we turned this into a loss? I don't know. But credit to Brighton. I worry about Ten Hag. I worry about Ten Hag. I really do. He doesn't look like he's got a fucking clue this season. Bruno looks like a guy who didn't want to come off. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Dear, dear. Dear, 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 dear. And that's the final whistle, is it? Yeah, well, he's got to look at himself, mate. He's got to look at himself. Like, the Maguire selection cost us 1 goal. The Bruno substitution cost us the momentum. I don't know what he is playing at there. I really don't know what the manager's doing there. That's on the manager. That whole game today is on Ten Hag. And I don't know what he thinks he's doing. Really. I don't know what he thinks he's doing. Because he's fucked up massively. And I said it before the game. When he picked the team, I don't know why Garnacho's on the bench. I don't know why De Ligt was on the bench. I don't know why he didn't start with a striker. And across a 90-minute game, it had peaks and troughs. But the substitution of Bruno Fernandes was mad. Madness. You take a guy off who's a born assister for a guy who couldn't buy an assist in McTominay, and you watch what happened in the last 10 minutes. Brighton looked like the better team in the last 10 minutes. Ten Hag gets that wrong. He's fucked that. He's completely and utterly... And I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. I think there's people out there that go in on him a lot. But he got that horribly wrong. Horribly wrong today. There's no doubt about it. Right, let's get over to the match reaction. Player ratings are going to be very, very interesting. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. Get your comments in, and I'll see you on the match reaction in a minute.